Hello everybody. It's Miriam here at Paper Wheel Studio. How's everybody doing today? I hope you are getting in your craft rooms and creating. And here in Southern Ohio, we are having the best weather right now. It's kind of hard to be inside, but I love crafting so much, I'll sacrifice the sunshine a little bit. I've got my windows all open, and this is just a beautiful day. So, today is, I'm participating both in the 100-day challenge. I'm around day 45, but I'm not exactly sure which day it is at the moment. I'm also participating in the ABC challenge, ABC collaboration with Margaret from Seven Plaza and Tony from Crafting by Tony, Crafty by Tony, I believe it is. If I'm wrong, correct me below, someone, please, if you're aware. I just can't think of it right off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I am doing today what I call textured tickets. I've never done these before, so this is going to be a new thing for me. I brought along my little Tim Holtz people here in this little container. I have my snippets in this container. I mean like oodles that I need to use up. I have my distressing stamps here. See, I just spilled a bunch of little snippets here on my piece of acrylic. And I have some tickets, some ticket sticker bases, and just a whole wide variety of things in my box here. I'm going to dump them on the table. I had some teeny tiny little sticker pieces that I thought might work well with these. I brought along my tea bags that I grunged up yesterday, or grunged up to me. And I have, instead of using cheesecloth, I had gauze that someone helped me dye. We dyed it several different colors, so I have all my various kinds of gauze to use as backgrounds. If you don't have cheesecloth, you happen to have some gauze around, it works just the same as cheesecloth, and you can use it to put behind things just as well. I brought along some stamps. These are from the 49 and Market ticket series. I don't believe these are adhesive in any way. I don't think anything is. In these, some of them are washi tapes, but these are just, there were a couple ticket tapes that they have smaller tickets, so I'm not going to use them right now. But they had these nice little neutral stamps that I thought might work well on those, so I brought those. I always bring way more than I use. So, let's just get out some. I'm going to start with a couple larger tickets. And we're just going to layer up some tickets, almost like little ticket clusters. With clusters with a purpose here, maybe. So, let's see. I'm just kind of getting some of my grungy stamps out that I can use and laying them here with my stamp block. This is just a grungy textures. I call it grungy, but it's really a texture stamp that I picked up at my favorite place to shop right now for craft items, which happens to be Temu or Temu, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to layer up, I pick it with some of the gauze, dyed gauze, a piece of grunge tea bag, and a little bit of stamping on the ticket before I get started, and that's what we're going to do today. So I just brought along a variety. These are some of the Tim Holtz. It says bus ticket. We'll get started with the bus ticket. I brought these along because I didn't want to start with something that was pure paper. I could have stamped it and done all of that, but since we did so much spraying and stamping yesterday with our tea bags, I didn't want to be spraying and stamping again today. And let me tell you, if you ever do that, remember how I did it yesterday without gloves? I had to soak my hands in bleach to get the stains and spritzes off of them, and it just was a disaster. So let's just see what we want to put on Mr. Number 12. Let's start with a piece of tea bag here. I don't know how well tea bag tears, and of course I have my scissors that they don't like to cut material of any kind. They're very good for paper. Oh yeah, this is gonna tear real good. So we'll tear that. I'll come back and tear that edge a little bit better if I need a piece of that, but let's just tear some off here. And I love the torn edge look, so I'm gonna go with a piece about like that. I don't care if it covers up numbers, letters. It's just something to put on there. And let's try one of these different colors. That way I'm not putting brown, 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 brown. So let's go with maybe, this is a green. I don't recall which ink we used to create this. However, it turned out quite light with some black, a blackish gray mixed through it. And I really like how it turned out. So let me cut a piece here we can use. Don't stick, scissors. Hopefully this doesn't work. Oh, nope, it's not going to. I was afraid of that. Let me unbury my other scissors that cut fabric and thing. Well, not fabric, cut this gauze good. Alrighty. So let's cut a piece of this. Okay. And before I put either of them down, I'm going to add a few grungy, spotty kinds of splashes or something on this ticket. And I'm using my walnut stain to do it. Let's see. I misplaced my little tiny stamp blocks. They shouldn't be far. Where have they gone? Here's one. I can use this one. Now let's see what we have here. Okay, got that. Okay. There we go. That works for me. And where is that ink? Here it is. I just have some butterfly stamp, and some of my favorite grungy stamps are in this little box. I have a couple others. One says vintage and a couple decorations. So that's what I have there. All right, before we start putting anything else, I think I'm just going to do this along the bottom here. Just going to ink the stamp up. Probably should have a stamp off piece of paper here, but I don't. So let's see. Let's see how that will work here. Well, oh cool. That gave us some grunginess. That looks pretty cool. I think I'm going to do that all the way up the stamp, just to make it look a little darker underneath the... Let's do some up here over these numbers as well. Yeah, I do like that. And we might as well, won't be able to see it much, but we might as well go ahead and put some here in the middle. Looks good to me. And we'll go ahead and ink around this. I never know how to use my little tiny Tim Holtz people. And I was watching one of Tony's videos where she had some ticket clusters, which gave me the idea to do this. And she had some of the tiny little Tim Holtz people. So I thought I could layer some up and make some little tickets, and then maybe use some butterflies out of my little tiny butterflies and snippets and things, and see what we can come up with. You can't put a lot on tickets, so this is one good way if you have some ticket things you need to use up, or some little tiny pieces of stuff you need to use up. This is one way that you could do that. I don't want those to get lost under there. All right, so now we have that. Where are our pieces we cut? Here is this one, and the other one's attached right to it. Cool. So let's see. I hope you all can see good. I'm just going to stretch out my piece of gauze. I've got my fan on in here, so I'm hoping nothing ends up blowing to the floor. Let's get the tea bag over here with the other tea bags. So I know I need to clean up my desk here, folks, and that's going to be on the agenda to get some things in here cleaned up. It's just not wasn't gonna happen today. My house has been like Grand Central Station, and if you can believe that, I have had people in and out, which is not normal for me, in and out all day. My kiddos, and when I say my kiddos, I mean my son, his wife, and my granddaughter. They came today, and she had her birthday party on Saturday, but her actual birthday is today, and they stopped by today before Girl Scouts, so they were here. That's gonna be too big, so we want to get some of these little guys out of here. Let's just pour these out and pick a few little guys or gals out that might. She's a little big for that, so let's get somebody that might work better. Yeah, thought so. Is she gonna be too big? Nope. But I don't want her. I don't want it. No. There's a couple little people. Let's see. Nope, he's kind of big. So we want to do all the, maybe the kids. They're the smaller ones. I think that flag's going to keep her out. Yep. So let's pull out some of these little kids, and we'll throw some more back in here. Oh, look at these other little snippets down in there. Those would be perfect. Dump them out, Miriam. Okay. Here's another little kiddo. Seem to be getting all girls today. The other day I had all boys out. Let's see. I know I've got some more boys in here as well. I didn't pull every single boy out, I'm sure of it. But I pulled quite a few the other day. So let's see here. This one would probably work on one of these shorter, wider tickets. Let's see if we can find a boy or two here. Well, is he going to be too? Oh. She would work. Which was butterfly that didn't belong in here. And I got some little girls like that if we did one that wasn't, that we didn't want to be all grungy. I do have a few of those. And let's see. Oh, this guy would probably, let's see, would he work? Ooh, yeah. I think we'll use him. These two kids would probably work as well. And I have this little boy and his doggy. He'll be good. All right, so there we go. We got plenty to start with here. Just gonna lay these over here to the side and pick these all up and put it out of the way so that we have plenty of room to work here, which I usually don't have, right? Okay. He would probably work too, because he's kind of, yeah, he would work too, either one of these guys. All right. Let me get my glue. I have a little glue bottle here that I just had filled. Where did I put it? Oh, gee whiz. I don't know how I do these things. I have this glue bottle. We'll just give it a shot today and see if it's going to cooperate. And I also have I have a little tag punch. I punched a bunch of tags out and brought them along today. So we'll work, see how much time I have. And probably shoot for a 45 minutes working. And we'll see how many of these we can get done in that time. All right, are you going to work? You don't want to work, do you? Oh. My granddaughter was using my glue earlier when she was here, so we probably didn't get the lid back on it in time before it started. Ah, there's a pen we can use to unclog it. I also have some little tiny pieces of tape that I forgot about that would probably work on these as well. So I'm going to lay that out here. And I think I want the tea bag down first. You can do it any way you want. There's really no right or wrong way to do anything for a junk journal. So if somebody tells you, oh, that's not how you do it, you do you. You just do you, do what you want, and not worry about what everybody else says. Because you make your journals the way you want them to look, or if you're selling them, then you develop a style. And there we go. And I like when I use these pieces because I can just dot it and get a little big glue down. You don't have to glue the whole thing down. And each level builds on itself. At least that's how I see it. Okay, which way do we want this? I think I want it like that because that puts those grungified things up. Okay. And then we're going to put a little bit more glue on top of the tea bag. This glue dries clear. It's white PVA glue. Just need enough to hold it down under our gentleman here. There we go. Alrighty. I kind of like that. And yeah, he'll work. And we can kind of like that. I don't feel like he needs something to be sitting on there because it looks kind of like he's sitting on a pile of cheesecloth. So that's what we're doing with this one, and I think a little label and he'll be done. See if we don't have a label that will work. I kind of like this one if I can make it work. The one that says, "Those were the days." Alrighty. And again, you don't have to get every bit of this piece with glue as long as you've hit the highlights, and then, you know, nothing's going to pull up when you get it down. It's unlike if you're gluing papers together where you got to get clear to the edge. You really don't have to do that on one of these unless you want to glue down that close. But since we are using these to decorate the tickets, it really won't matter. And we got stuff under him too that will, the glue underneath will help hold him as well. So let's hold that down there for a minute and see if we can't find a little, here's a really teeny tiny snippety like label here that I think I'm just going to slip it under his head. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I should have brought my tweezers along. This would be easier if I did, but I did not. So, just have to squeeze them under there with my fingers and hope that they cooperate today. Let's put it right there over top of the tea bag, but not necessarily over top of the gauze piece that's here. Can I get that clear? Yeah, there we go. Just gonna hold that down. And I got a little extra gauze there, so I'm going to just trim it slightly. I don't like it as bumpy. You know, if you were here, you'd see there's a big old bump there, and I don't like it, the big old bump. Let's see if I can trim it from this direction. There we go. Oh yeah. Then you can ruffle up your edges if you want. Let's just stick it out way too far for me there too. I'm just going to take a little snip there and then, oh, it's still, I think I got it that time. Yeah. There we go. There's textured ticket number 1. I got a glue thing to hold my glue, so I'm going to bring it in and try to, will my glue bottle, oh yeah, that'll be perfect. If it gets glued down in it, I'll clean it out when I'm done. I really don't care. Now, I also have these 2 tickets here, and I'm going to leave them connected. I thought I could maybe just use a tiny piece of tea bag with these and put maybe one of the little girls on there and come up with something to go with her. Just a little bit of tea bag behind one. So, all right. Oh yeah, you can still see the flowers good through that. Let's take this little tiny piece off. Let's put that one up there. And let's see here. Really don't need a big piece for the bottom, so maybe if we went with this little piece. Yeah, there we go. And maybe, let's see if the boy and his dog, oh, we don't want to put boy and dog on flowers. Let's put this little girl who has, I'm assuming, a christening outfit on. Because I don't think a girl that young would be getting married. So, ooh, that'll be pretty. And here's another little girl with flowers in her hair. Maybe she's the flower girl. Let's put her up here. Okay, I like those 2. Do we want to give one of them a bird? Got this little bird here. That would probably look good on here, maybe? Do you think? No, it's almost too big. Let's see what else we have. Those were the days. What was that the theme song for? Does anybody remember? Fred Sanford? Sanford and Sons, that's what it was. Okay, let's get, where'd you come from? Washi tape piece? Came from out of nowhere. Okay, here's one of the little tiny butterflies. Don't like those colors. Let's see what else I got here. Too big. Here's some more of the littler pieces. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. There's a bright red piece. A little tag that says we. What's this little guy say? Ooh, that might work. Yeah, I like that. And let's see what you are. A little fancy dancy little thing. Sometimes when you're digging through stuff, this is the best way to do it. Oh, looky what I found. Teeny, teeny, tiny that fell to the bottom tags. I mean tiny, tiny tags. There we go. Let's get these little tiny guys out here. Because these are about the ones that will work. There's a tiny little postage stamp like piece. These are kind of the ones that'll work on these. Very tiny pieces. All right. Ooh, I like this little green one too. That's the perfect size. So, let's get our girls down. And I'm going to bring her over a bit and her over. Opposite sides. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to use any of my, you know what? What are you going to do, Miriam? Make up your mind. Let's try the blue-gray one I got here and just use, I'll snip a piece off and use half on one, half on the other. Where did my little snippies go? There they are. Here's another teeny tiny one. There's another one. Another little green, unless that's the one I just laid there. Yeah, that's the one I just laid there. So we don't want a big piece here. We want a very small piece. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Alrighty. I've been making junk turtles now probably for a couple years. I'm still not quite sure what my style is, but I like experimenting with different things and seeing what I can come up with. I think I'm going to put our little girl down here. I think I'm going to switch my girls because I don't want to cover up these blue flowers, and they've got some blank space over here. And I might switch to a different girl rather than the little wedding girl because I don't like how she covers up all my flowers I have on here. So we'll see. I don't know. Can't make up my mind. I do know once I decide to put some things down that I try just to go ahead and stick it down, or otherwise I could be here for hours deciding what I wanted to use. There we go. I like that. Let's use this little girl. Get back there, Betty. You've had your turn. Okay, let's use this little girl, and I'm going to go ahead and put her down. But I'm just going to put my glue for now in the middle part of her body because I might want to give her a label underneath her feet or behind her head or something like that. So just putting the glue on the middle part. I can come back and slip this glue bottle under there and add more if I need to. Tell you what, when I'm working, that glue holder is pretty handy. You don't have to start your glue back down. And let's bring her down so she's not going off my ticket. So we'll put her right there. And then that gives me some room here to put some labels and things. Let's put these tiny little guys, maybe. Whoop. Yeah, let's put this down here. That's maybe a little too tiny for what I want to do. Oh yeah, that one looks good. We're going to put that guy, and I'm going to slip it under her legs. After I do these two, I'm going to show you how you can do ones with sticker tickets. Oh, I like that. So now let's give her something square on top there. There's the finger. I never know what to do with the fingers. Does anybody like using those, and how do you figure out what to do with them? I can never figure it out. Probably should get me some kind of tweezers that I can use when I'm doing this. Oh, looky there. Now we've got that. And what about, what does this say on it? Pharmacy. Do we want to put that there? Yes, we do. Or yes, this person does. And that will finish this little one off. And I think I want to switch to something different than the little wedding girl for this other one. Because I think, let me see again, she takes up a lot of room. Ooh, that came out. That might be a good one. That might be good to use with her if I decide to use her. And there's a sideways butterfly. What if we put her here? You can still see the blue. Okay, I'm gonna use it. Here's my piece of tea bag and little piece of, here's a piece of tea bag and gauze that I had torn ahead. So we'll put them down on here. And I didn't give my little girl anything under her head and feet. I'm just going to put a little bit under her head there. And a tight or slight bit under her feet. Man, I can't talk today. I hope you are having beautiful weather like we are here in Southern Ohio. It is just absolutely gorgeous here. And I don't think before the weekend, however, those who work all week probably won't be able to enjoy it because before the weekend, it is supposed to rain. Pour the rain down. I don't know. I know I said, I think I need her on this side though. Might cover up some of my purple flowers, but that's okay. Oh, that just ripped. So now we have this piece. All right, we'll put it right up here. And I want to point those little spikies. I don't want her to look like she has spikes coming out of her little veil there. She might look, instead of looking like a little Christian girl, she might look like a little devil with those spikes coming out of her head. Okay. Again, I'm going to put it mostly on her middles here. Oh, make a mistake like that, just wipe your glue off. It's not the end of the world by any means. There we go. She doesn't too bad there. And what I do with, I like that little triangle piece. So let's go ahead and put a like a block, small rectangular piece, and put the triangle maybe on top of it. Over the hem of her dress. Do we want to do that? I don't know if I do or not. I like this one here, I think. Yeah, there we go. I think maybe another round one instead of that diagonal, or one of these teeny tiny ovals maybe. Oh, she slid on me. That's okay. I tell you what, there's a little square that might work too. Do I have another tiny, tiny round one? I got this round one. I don't like that though. I think I'm gonna go with what we got here. We're gonna put Come on, stay in place, sweetie. There we go. Oh. I don't like my labels on above my people. I want it under. And I think, honestly, do we want to put this guy up here maybe? I don't know. I think that's too much. We're going to leave it at that. Okay. So now we've got that one done. And I like it. I really like it. Do we want to do one of these guys? Yeah, let's do a mint green one. I didn't even ink around these girls. I think I'm just going to wait and see what journal I put them in before I do any inking around them. This one's going to be kind of small. So we want definitely a person that's tiny, tiny, tiny. And here's a green stamp. I think we'll go, yep, we're going to layer that here over a piece of, I've got this little tiny piece of tea bag here. So let's just do this, and then I'm going to grunge it a little with one of my grungy stamps. I also have another small piece of tea bag here. I tell you what, I have been making journals for a year now, and my perspective on how I like things has changed quite a bit in 1 year. So don't limit yourself is all I could recommend. If you're new at this, try new techniques, experiment, try something you see on YouTube, try something you've never done before. And I have not been inking my little tiny pieces, probably because they're so hard for me to hold on to do that. Ooh, you know what? We're not going to put a person on this. We're going to put a flower. That one right there, as a matter of fact. Now I'm going to go ahead and ink them up first. I have a mini, let's see, is this micro, mini? I'm not sure which, dauber. And it's a lot easier to ink these little tiny things with this than a larger dauber, because you can get your dauber into all these little areas. I think I picked mine up on, where did I get this? I don't remember. So I'm not real sure, unless the guys, but I searched for it online and I found it, and that's what I did. Those were the days. Place 1 cent stamp here. These are little tiny stickers. A couple of these I brought in. Of course, I probably will just glue them down because I just love these little teeny tiny label things. I'll try to use that one here. And let me see if I have a little square or oval green one. That's, oh, what was that? Where'd you go? What were you? What were you? There's a little tiny ticket, a tiny ticket on a ticket. And do we have maybe a little butterfly that would work? More pretty flowers, that's for sure. Got some little tiny arrow pieces. Oh, what's that? Maybe that one would work. It's yellow, but that would bring, oh, and here's another. I think that one would work. All right, so let's get some. And let me see which one of these, if I can figure it out. We put here's a piece that has several of the greenish colors right here. So I'm going to tear this piece out and use it on top of the green ticket because I think that would look really cool. All right, now I've got that. And let's try some different stamp here for grunging purposes or spots. Or here, let's put this one. Kind of looks, I think it will when I'm done, like there was something sitting on it and it kind of splattered good there. So let's try it. Don't get over there with my stamps and get where you're not supposed to be, guys. You gotta behave if you're gonna make it in this competition of who's gonna end up on a ticket. They gotta behave if they're gonna get on a ticket. If they go over there and hide, then they won't make it on the ticket, will they? Okay, let's see how this one does if I use it. Doesn't look like I really got anything on it, but I'm going to do it on the top half. That looks pretty cool. I like it. And there is the circle on there, so that looks good. Where did we put? Oh, here it is. Is this it? Oh yeah, blue clear over here. All right, so do we want the whole piece? No, I don't think so. We'll keep you for another one. And we're going to put that down. And on this one, I'm just going to use some tea bag. Your choice what you want to use it to your project. So I didn't turn my glue back upside down here. And it's starting to clot off. So let me get that off there. Kind of a little glue worm or whatever you want to call it. Oh, look, it's flowing now, isn't it? Put that there. It doesn't seem to clot off. Probably because it's not being blown directly on by my fan. I do have my fan on in here, as I said earlier. We'll get my flower on here and then I'll decide what I'm going to put with it. Okay. And if I want to slip labels under these flowers, I better do it pretty quickly before my glue dries. So let's see, which way do we want this to be? Aha. Goes up like this. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes. Okay. Then we can put this little guy up here. I better put a little actual glue on it rather than getting the glue from my finger. We'll put this guy on here. And I don't know what else. I think that one stamp I was going to use is a little large for this. Let's see. Need something else. Oh, here's this one that I had out here. That one will probably work. And I still have a little diamond, a couple little diamonds it looks like. Okay. Oh, this is the same size as that one. Haha, exactly alike. We don't want to do that, Miriam, do we? Okay, let's slip that one right there. And let's use this little guy. He inched his way out there. And I think that would look really cool. What are you? Ooh. You are actually... Is it too much green? Yeah, that's too much green. Miriam, you shouldn't drop them back into the thing if you're going to use it. Goodness. Get it together, lady. What are you? Oh, you're a bigger piece anyway. There's another little neat size. Let's see. Let me lay this over here and see if it would work. No. The green background's too much to have all green labels. It's kind of hard to see the one I put on there anyway. So let's see what this one will do, and if that's all it needs, we'll call it quits. Put that one like that. And I just saw a butterfly that would look really good on here. Yes, I do. That's going right there. It's been 45 minutes. I think maybe I'll do one more. Maybe one more of the larger ones and on camera, and then I might do some more off since I already have all my stuff out here. Ooh, I like that. And I don't care that it's hanging off the edge either. I do like that one as well. So now I have that. These could be used on projects that you do later on and you already have like little clusters made. That is really cool. And I like these guys. So let's see, get a bigger one out here and see. Oh, yes, I said I was going to show you. I have some tickets that are on a tape roll. Oh, here they are. So it's going to be wide enough for them. Yeah. So these are just stickers. So I need some kind of a background for them. See, they're just decorative stickers with flowers and things. And they really need a background. So I'm going to just use a piece of my craft paper that I have here. And I'm going to put one down, and that'll give us our base, and we'll go from there. In fact, we're going to put that one down there. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and decorate a little strip of these. I must have had glue on my finger because I just glued some glue under that. That's a problem if you stick a sticker down and you got glue on your fingers. It'll stick up to them. Alright, do we want to put a couple more down across here? Let's do 1, 2, let's try 3 more. Boy, that one's wild with all those butterflies there, isn't it? Good thing we're not using it as is. Let's see. I don't think these are perforated, but they're tearing off okay, so I'm not going to worry about it. And these, I think we'll give them a little shot of tea bag and some labels, and that's all I'm going to do with them because they already... Oh, I went overboard, didn't I? Maybe not. Let's see what happens if I start really close to that one. Yep. Is it going to work? Oh, yeah. Just fits. Oh, absolutely. Just fits. You got a wrinkle, Miriam. Let's go from this end. Have just a fraction of a bit up there to straighten that out. Oh, yeah. That worked. All right. So we're going to do these. Which way's up? Which way's down? I have no clue. Except for this one down here, that looks good for all 3 of them. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I also have a bumblebee here that I could use on one. There's another butterfly, but we have tons of them, don't we? Okay. Let's try. Here's a little tiny bit of tea bag. And I just saw a couple butterflies there that will probably be perfect for these. So let's put some of this down. We'll use a little tea bag on one, maybe a little gauze on another. We'll put this down and put one of these little butterflies that I just saw here. Yeah, this one doesn't have butterflies, so we'll put a butterfly on it. And I'll wait and ink around these when I'm done. But I do want to get around my tiny little pieces if I don't forget. You look cool. Where'd you go? Pull some of those out of there. This butterfly happens to have a lot of white around it, or cream colored. I'm not sure if it's white or creamy colored. But there we go. And I already got the glue on there, so we'll put him on. Oh, he'll look pretty on there. And I think with that pink, look, I had several of these little green pieces out. There's a brown one. Those were the days. I still keep passing that one up. Ooh, here's a really grungy looking one. And maybe on this one we could use a little bit bigger pieces, because we just can. Let's move our butterfly up. There we go. Let's put that guy up there. And then I think I'm going to use this piece. No, let's use this one. I'll use this one on one of them on down here. We'll build on this guy. Put him on the bottom and build up from there. Now, just because this has a butterfly on it, you can always cover your butterfly up and put another one on it if you want. That's a possibility. You know, the thing is, just because certain people use ephemera in certain ways doesn't mean you have to use it in the exact same way. You just do what you like and what looks good to you. Yeah, I think I like this one on here better. We'll do it next. And then maybe use one of these tinier squares up from it. I try not to get too many on there and get carried away with them, but sometimes when you start doing this stuff, it's so easy to just start layering because it looks so cool. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care if it gets my little numbers there. In fact, we'll just pull it right down, and if it covers them up, cover them up. Who cares? Let's see, do we want that one? Since I've got all darkies on there and kind of like, yeah, let's do that. And the next one is pretty just as is. I really hate to cover it, but we'll give it a label or two. And we said we'd do some texture on it, so we gotta give it a little cheesecloth or something under the label. Maybe just another piece of tea bag. Let's see here. Let's cut a piece of my brown cheesecloth off here. What are you? Oh, you're cool. But you're probably too big for this one. So we don't want our the bumblebee to outdo the butterfly. So, geez, I got the fumbly fingers today. Let's cut a piece this way, because I just remembered a piece I pulled out that looks really cool, and I think it will work at the top of this if I can find it quickly enough. It was an odd shaped, here we go, here you are, traveler. I think if I put this across the top and put the traveler with it, that's all this one needs, maybe. I laid my glue down again. It takes a while to come back up. good little puddles, so it'll be enough maybe to hold my label down too. There we go. And once that glue is dried, I'll probably come back in there and trim a little bit off the edges so it's not like rolling over the edges like that. Didn't get enough on there for the label, so I'm going to put you there. Oh yeah, cool looking. And I also have this eensy beensy little green one. What if we put it right down here with nothing under it? I think it'll work. I think it will work. And the next one, we're just going to use maybe one label. Oh yeah, I like that. There's a couple little, oh, that's attached. Did you see that? I reached for one that's already attached to that. Oh boy. It's been a long day. You know what? This is a little teeny tiny sticker. If I can get it off, I think I'm going to put this one on here like that. And what if, oh, I like that. I got a little itsy bitsy piece of tea bag here that I'm going to put down under it. And this one will be done. See, once you get going on these, I mean, it takes me longer to do everything, as you well know, because I have a disability and my muscles are not very strong. So, you know, everything I do sometimes is a little more difficult. I don't want such a long, there we go, got it. I didn't want a long tail on that piece. So I'm going to put a little bit on, hopefully the correct side here. I wasn't paying any attention. I want it just on the outside of this. I was, good. Got the right size. And let's see if I can just, oh, there's glue there. Might as well use some of it. There we go. Good thing that 30's on there. That shows me which way's up and down. It's so tiny. See all that writing to know if I'm putting it on there right side up or upside down. There we go. I like that. As you can tell, I tend to gravitate towards greenish things. Now, this bottom one is going to be a little challenging because we got to cover up the butterflies there. But I'm going to, because there's, I think there was a misprint there. I don't mind the butterflies across the bottom. Let's see if we can put, is that too big? How about this one? It's going to feel funny. I feel like I'm working upside down here. Yeah, let's do that. And let's get a little piece of my gauze and cheese, or I keep saying cheesecloth. It's gauze, Miriam. Really doesn't matter what it is as long as it works, huh? Ooh, there's a little one that'll get to layer up here. I think I'll put a piece of this down. And I'm using a rather large piece here because that's really a messed up thing. And we want to kind of hide. You know, keep all these little pieces that you trim because you can use them somewhere. Well, don't be so stubborn, gauze. All right, we're gonna get this one and then I'll show you again what I got accomplished. And call it a crafting session. There we go. That covers up the top part of that. I'm good with that. Again, I can trim it. Let's see, you are begging to be used. You kept jumping out there at me, so let's just use you. And we'll get this big guy on here. And then I'll go from there. Always come back and add glue. I've said that multiple times, haven't I? I always repeat myself a lot. So we're going to put that label there. Hold that baby down good. Get it good and adhered. We do have a couple little butterflies. Oh, they're exactly the same. You know, the oval really wants to be used. So let's, I like the circle better though. Let's use the circle. I changed my mind. There's more glue that's stuck. Just going to rub it off there. So, you know, when you're making these things, they really don't have to be that complicated. I think we complicate them more by worrying that we're not doing it right or something like that. I complicate what I do by having so many things on my desk when I'm working. And I get all gung-ho, oh, we're going to do all these wonderful tickets and get them all out. And we don't get that many done. Oops, that is paper that I didn't want to put back away with my pieces. So I got to pull that baby out of there. Okay. So we'll put this guy here. I like that'll bring the pink out. I think that color will bring the pink out in the flowers on this. Okay. I also have some little teeny tiny pieces here. Does that look right up there? Yeah. We're going to put it right here. On the corner of this tag. Or this, it's not a tag. It's a label, isn't it? I'll put a good little bit of glue there because this is tiny and I don't think it will hold well on top of that gauze very well. So if I put a good little bit of glue, it's not going to go anywhere. There we go. And this needs more glue under here, I believe. It just doesn't want to stay down there. So we'll give it more here. And I'm going to put another label down here to help pull that down and hold it. There we go. Push that down for a minute or two. All right. Now where do we want my little square? Because I want to use my little square too. Do I want it there? Yeah, I do. That'll help hold that all down onto the ticket. And we won't have to worry about that popping up. On these particular ones, I think I'm better off using tea bag than gauze. Because the tea bag ones stay down real good and the gauze ones aren't staying down quite as well. But when I'm done here, I can put something on them or put them under my mat to flatten down. All right, so because it looks ridiculous, one being upside down and the rest of it being right side up, I'm going to cut this one off of this strip. And I'll come back with my hole punch, and once these are completely dry, I'll fussy cut a little around them. I might even leave a little brown edge. I kind of like that look. So we've got this one. We have these three. We have our two little girls here. We have our gentleman. And get out of there. You just really, you're sticking to my fingers. Goodness. And we have our butterfly ticket. So we did pretty good. We managed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's the most items I've ever done on a video. So that's what we have. I hope you all have enjoyed this, and get out some tickets and make some cluster tickets yourself, and I think you'll really enjoy it. you all be sure you like and subscribe. We're working toward 500, and last I looked, we're getting closer to 200. I thank you for all of my new subscribers. We'll have another giveaway coming up when I reach 500 subscribers. I welcome everyone. Please hit the notification button. You'll know when I get new videos out. And you all have an amazing evening. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great evening.